What is going on, Grizzlies fans? Welcome into another game day update. I'm Kelcey. That is Mike. The Grizzlies will take on the Timberwolves tonight here at FedExForum, a battle of two of the youngest teams in the NBA. The Grizzlies, as we know, play real good at home, 3-1 at home. Timberwolves on the other side, they are 1-0 away. So it's going to be a fun matchup between these two teams. Mike, what are you most excited about?
Well, I'm most excited about the Grizzlies being home to start this second phase of their homestand. They're playing 8 of 10 at home. This is a 3-game homestand this week, starting with Minnesota tonight. Obviously, Charlotte comes in on Wednesday and the Phoenix Suns come in on Friday. But when you're looking at what the Grizzlies need to do, they need to get back, bounce back from that demoralizing setback against the Washington Wizards on the road the other night. So Minnesota's coming in, having dropped 4 straight games. They blow a lot of double-digit leads. So this is an opportunity for the Grizzlies to really try to find some consistency. So I'm looking for them to come out with a consistent effort starting from tonight. What are you looking for, Kelcey?
Yeah, both teams are coming off losses. And I was at practice yesterday and I asked both Tyus and Coach Jenkins, I said, you know, when you're coming into a practice after a loss like you just had, what is the main focus? And Tyus said it wasn't necessarily even about what we're doing in the game. It's about getting our energy back. And so then I asked Coach Jenkins about that. And he kind of mirrored the same thing. He said, we're not really worried about, you know, things that we can't control. That's getting the ball in the basket. We can't necessarily control that, but they worked a lot on things like things they can control. So a lot of that came on the defensive end when Coach Jenkins was talking about, you know, running lanes, stopping the ball. They really want to focus on points in the paint on the defensive end, stopping getting points in the paint, defending the three-point line. He said we went back to the basics and just tried to, you know, re-up on some of those fundamentals. So I think the name of the game tonight is going to be defense.
It's going to be defense, and especially defense for the Grizzlies, because I checked this morning. There hadn't been any games played as of yet. And it was kind of depressing to look at the Grizzlies being ranked 29th in defensive rating among 30 teams in the league. That's not where you want to be. Not when this team has the athletes that they have on the perimeter, not when they have the kind of athleticism and the kind of timing that they have. The Grizzlies got to get back to the deflections, to the block shots, to the steals, things that they led the league in or ranked in the top third in the league in on that defensive side of the floor last year. So they can get back. I mean, it's still a short sample size. This is only game number 10 tonight. In terms of the injury report, you know, we see a couple of guys that are on there. D'Angelo Russell's missed the last couple of games with the ankle issue for the Timberwolves. And Zaire Williams is questionable right now for the Grizzlies. So we'll see if he plays with a wrist issue. Dylan Brooks is definitely out. So there are going to be a couple of guys maybe out. We'll see as we get closer to game time. But defense is going to be key. You talked about that. Now, offensively, John Morant, Kelcey, is coming off of probably his most lackluster performance. He really didn't have it in Washington. They threw a lot of defenses against him. How does he get back on track?
I think Ja gets back on track the exact way that John knows how to get back on track. He is kind of his own worst critic. So he's going to come into today very hungry. Again, he was at practice yesterday. He was in good spirits. And I think he knows that everything starts on the defensive end. So getting back on track, again, starts with good defense, and then the offense will come. I know that when you look at who the Timberwolves have, who may be defending him, we obviously haven't seen this matchup yet this year. I would put money on either Anthony Edwards or Patrick Beverley defending Ja for a majority of tonight. And that's going to make him, you know, like it's going to be frustrating. It's two really good defenders, two big, good defenders. So I think it's going to be important for Ja. We saw it a little bit in the last home game, or maybe 2 games ago, where Tyus and Ja were playing together. I think we are going to see a little bit more of Ja off the ball today in order to get the ball, you know, continuously moving and get everyone involved. Ja may not be the guy handling the ball you know, through every play. Not to say he's not going to be a decision maker. He's still going to be the guy coming off the screens, but I would be surprised if we don't see a little bit of Ja off the ball tonight.
And you talk about Tyus playing alongside Ja. I mean, Tyus does not turn the ball over. So the Grizzlies, when they play those two together, they don't tend to make a lot of mistakes. They're more sure-handed. They know what they want to get to, and it's just about tempo at that point. So I'm looking forward to it. Starting of a 3-game homestand right here. The Grizzlies have a lot to play for, a lot of things that are still coming together, and we'll see where this takes them. But I'm definitely looking forward to tonight's game. Hopefully they can get back in the win column and go to 6-4 starting this young season.
You mentioned turnovers. Before we end this, I feel like we do have to talk about the turnovers for the Timberwolves. They are 29th in the league in turnovers. They are a very turnover-prone team. And this is not the guys that you think it may be. It's not the young guys. It's not even like the guards necessarily. Like Cat is averaging over 4 turnovers a game. I think Anthony Edwards, I know he is more of a guard, but he's averaging over 3. Like this team turns the ball over. So the hopes are that the Grizzlies, when defense is the focus, are able to capitalize on that on the offensive end. So, I mean,
and quick transition.
Exactly.
And quick transition too, because you get those live ball turnovers and it can lead to fast break points and it gets your pace up. Again, the Timberwolves are used to, they don't play well with prosperity. They've lost 4 games this year that they've led by double figures, including 2 last week when they were up by almost 20. So this team they don't hold on to the basketball and they don't hold on to leads either. So those 2 things should factor well in the Grizzlies' hands.
All right, knock on wood. The game tips off at 7 o'clock, like I said, here at FedExForum. You can watch it on your TV at Valley Sports Southeast. You can listen on the radio, 92.9 ESPN radio. You can come in and hang out with us at FedExForum. Get your tickets at 901-888-HOOP, and please follow along. This sounds like a spiel that I'm just going, but I really mean it. You can do all these things. Follow along on all of our social channels at MemGrizz.